Hi, Mary. How are you?
Hi, I'm great, Leora. How are you?
Good. So I loved Golden Arm.
Good. Oh,
It's gotten
thank
these
you.
dreams stuck in my head. But other than that,
I
um,
know. Me too.
I loved the friendship between your character, Belle, and Mel, and Betsy Sodaro's Danny. And some of your line deliveries, I was still laughing about days later, like
Oh,
in
thank
Frozen,
you.
and like they have horses.
Yes.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So, for those that don't know, tell them about Golden Arm and a little about your character, Mel.
Sure. Golden Arm is a buddy comedy set in the world of women's arm wrestling. It's a sports movie. It's a buddy comedy. It's a road trip movie. It's got all these fun elements from all those genres combined, and it's a love story between these two best friends rediscovering their friendship with each other. And I play Melanie, who is a baker. She owns a bakery and has when we meet her in the movie, she's just getting served divorce papers. So things are going great. Um, she's kind of at a crossroads in her life where she's realizing that the choices that she's made up until this point aren't actually things that she wanted. Like she's not um making choices that serve her happiness. And so I think she's lost when we meet her. And then her best friend comes back into her life and is able to encourage her and help her discover herself.
Amazing. So everyone looked like they were having so much fun making this movie,
Yeah.
especially you and Betsy. So tell me about some of your favorite memories from making this movie.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. I'm really glad that comes across because we had the time of our lives. It was so much fun. There I can't say enough great things about this cast and this crew that it just felt like it was so collaborative and everybody was in it together and such positive attitudes all around. Like we were all just so excited to be there and be doing this movie. Um, I some of my favorite memories, honestly, I would sort of go into every day looking at the sides we were going to be doing that day and then thinking, oh well, yes, we get to do that scene. Like, oh yeah, there's this scene. Like being so excited every time to do a scene. And Betsy Sodaro, I think, she's a genius. And I think anybody watching this movie will feel the same way. Watching her in anything would feel that way. Um, so building that friendship between Melanie and Danny was just the easiest thing in the world with Betsy. I loved all the scenes we shot in the cab of the big rig. Like I remember shooting those. We had to have the AC off in the big rig because of sound, and so we really lost our minds in the Oklahoma heat. It was like a delirious fever dream. The hardest I've ever laughed is when Betsy and I were just playing and improvising and riffing in that big rig cab. It was wild. Um, but yeah, so many. They were all so fun to shoot. All the scenes.
Oh, so I know it was part of the script, but it got me thinking, how do you feel about sports movies? And how do you feel about Twister?
Oh, Twister. Fun fact about Twister. Twister is one of the first movies I ever saw. Like first, like what genre would you say Twister is? Like a
Like, oh, like
disaster
everything.
movie or like an action?
Yeah,
Not an
like
action
in
movie.
action. It's got a
Something
bit of
like that.
everything.
I
That's
was
why
so
it's so good.
scared. Yeah, exactly. I was so scared to watch it. I think I watched it when I was like 12 or something. I was so scared because I had never seen a movie in that genre before. And I loved it so much. So yeah, it making an appearance in this movie was a real treat. But sports movies were some of my favorite movies growing up. I mean, I feel like a lot of it that is a lot of kids movies, especially like in the 80s and 90s, were sports movies like Mighty Ducks and Sandlot and those Cool Runnings, like these movies that I just my first comedies, watching those, and I love them.
Yeah. So did you have a favorite scene to shoot in this movie?
There were it's very hard to pick a favorite. I loved working with Eugene Cordero was a dream,
Yes.
and the scene with Melanie and Greg on the baseball field was the sun looks so beautiful. It was just a really magical experience shooting that scene. And then my other favorite was and I don't this is a spoiler, but is at the with it's a scene with Betsy at the end of the movie where Danny and Melanie really have a real heart to heart. It's like the emotional climax of the movie, and that was my favorite scene to shoot.
Of Happiest season, I have to ask, there was such a passionate outcry for everyone. They all wanted Abby and Riley to get together.
Yes.
So what sort of feedback did you receive that really resonated with you?
Yeah, I totally can understand. I mean, Kristen Stewart and Aubrey are they were so lovely together, and I think that the friendship between those two characters was really moving and really beautiful, and I so appreciated how invested people were in that relationship and in that those characters that meant a lot. And I think hearing the response to Jane meant so much to me too. She's a character that's really based on me. And, like, there's a lot of elements of her that are true of me, and so hearing the response to her was really moving and meant so much. She's very special to me, and I'm glad other people felt that way about her too.
So coming very soon, everyone's going to be watching Golden Arm. What have you been watching lately?
Oh man, I've been watching. Well, I just started watching Mare of Easttown on HBO. Always watching Top Chef. Always watching Survivor. Let's see what else. WandaVision we finished recently. Um, yeah, I feel like I'm just watching lots of movies. Lots of I've sort of it's been a real year of watching a lot of movies and a lot of TV. Um, but yeah, those are the things I've been watching most recently.
Amazing. Well, thank you so, so much for your time. Thank you for your art. I really
Oh, thank you,
appreciate it. Thank
Leora.
you, Mary.
Thank you.